Hello, welcome into Alicia Dad's podcast. I'm Jared. Tonight it is a solo run. I am Alicia Dad on his own, telling you about everyday life while it's trained to my parental responsibilities. Actually, I have a rare occurrence tonight. I'm alone. Ha! For all you parents who are dedicated parents out there who doesn't have an outlet or doesn't have a person who regularly takes care of your kids, a night alone is something magical, right? And it's a time to get a lot of stuff done where you can focus. You don't have the kids breaking your attention every 15 minutes, and it's just a wonderful time, really. So thank you, Grandma and Grandpa, for taking the little ones today. Well, Eleanor's not really little, but anyway. So tonight, on the cusp of recovering from 4th of July. I hope you guys had a wonderful 4th, and I hope you took some time that day to really understand and ponder what the 4th of July means in your life, what it means to you, and honestly just take some time to spend some time with family. I hope you're able to do that. So, briefly tonight, I just wanted to come to you guys and hope and wish you a good rest of your week here. But I want to take some minutes tonight to discuss how important it is to have a solid relationship with your children continuously. So I know I've said this in the past on this channel. I'm not sure when or what episode, but I know I've stated it before. But if you're a parent or planning to be a parent, I would like to stress something to you, right? So you have all these situations where you're fortunate enough, you're wealthy enough to have like a nanny or somebody help you out from your day to day, especially if your wife or your partner and yourself are career people. You kind of need that buffer to balance your busy life as well as someone to take care of your children. We've seen multiple times over the past decades, right? Ever since, people have been telling stories on how not having a relationship with your kids and vice versa, having your kids and having a relationship with you is detrimental to the quality of life for that child. So if you're wanting to be a parent, if you're prepared to take the steps to be one, besides the making part, we all enjoy that. But if you're taking steps to be an active parent, and just know that there's always going to be something in your mind, and there should be. I want you to think about this. There always should be something in the back of your mind saying, I probably should find something to do with my life that involves my kids, or I'm able to be home more. I don't want to sit here and say, well, you're a bad parent if you're away on a job. No, if if you have a job that takes you weeks or 6 days out of the week away from the home, and that's how you make your living for your family, that's okay. But make sure your partner's there to take care of the household. There should always be that part of your part of the back of your mind where, Jesus, wouldn't it be freaking awesome if I could just be a stay-at-home parent? Because ideally, that would be the best situation for your kids. And I would like others' opinion about this too. You know, is it better for a child to be homeschooled and with the parent all day every day, or do you think they need that social interaction? My colleague JJ, I believe, is on the fence, or not on the fence, but is on the side that they need the social aspect of it, which is, I actually agree with it at some point. So I don't. really necessarily agree with, let's say you have a family living out in the middle of nowhere. The child is not going to understand the idea of community, the importance of community, and how to have the social interactions if they want to go live in a city when they're an adult. And my wife and I believe, are on the same page with this, but I have been on the homeschool kick for a while, and so is she. And I really think it'd be beneficial to either find a community that we could go, I'm not going to go as far as to say church, but because we're not religious, but as find a community where they can have some sort of social interaction. And I've even thought about having more scheduled time with their cousins who are around the same age, or find some other friends, who are in their, same age bracket. So they have the interaction, but they don't have to be in that school setting where there might be some negative effects happening, bullying and so on and so forth, peer pressure, and the whole gist. I mean, I think if you go back to a couple way back machine in our episodes, you can find an episode about homeschool versus regular school, and the effects of bullying, peer pressure, and all the trouble a kid could get in if they were in school and they don't have, I don't know if it's the lack of confidence or if it's just the easily influenced child that would get sucked in and go down to the wrong path. I would like to protect my children from any bad or negative influence at school. Uh, and if they end up being in school, because Lord knows homeschooling and having one adult working is almost impossible in this economy. Almost impossible. It's not quite there, but it's very, very out of reach for somebody, for my family, right? And if we can just have the interaction where mom and dad are home on a regular basis, we have not constant, but we have open communication with what's going on at school, what's going on in your head, and just make sure we're all on the same page. I think that'd be very beneficial, and I hope it would pay off. I mean, if you're and again, if you're planning to have a child, just know you're not going to get it right. There's always going to be something that doesn't go according to plan, and you're going to have to deal with it. I've had to suck that up myself. I mean, I've had to rearrange my entire way of thinking because my children came out like me and my wife. I live in a house full of Tauruses. The stubbornness is unreal in my household. Unreal. And so I've had to adjust the way my kids aren't going to listen very well when they're very independent, when they're very stubborn. And I've had many nights where I just have to sit back and just be like, whoa, I had to take a much different approach than what my parents did, because I ended up not being very copacetic with them, especially later on, like 10, 11, 12. So you're going to have to really change your expectations, or don't have any expectations at all is even better. Just go with it, right? Live in the present moment and just go with it. Try to limit your anger. But my wife even said a couple weeks ago that they need to see, adults having real emotions. And I agree with that. But I don't want them to see me as I don't want them to see me or my wife as an angry individual who can't handle their emotions. If you've seen Inside Out and Inside Out 2, you kind of know where I'm going with this. It's good to have emotional intelligence. In fact, that's part of human growth, I think, in order to really be one with you, yourself, and the voice in your head, if you have one, is you really have to be honest with your emotions, talk about them, be open and honest. Because a lot of the time when I was growing up, and I'm a millennial, I grew up from 1991 till I'm still growing up. But the point is, there was very few and far between points where my parents were honest about their emotions. They were honest about what's going on, and they empathized with me and went, because it was always their agenda. It was all, and this, I'm not, trust me, I'm not casting any hatred or negativity towards that, because parents should have their own agenda. But I really would have liked to known what they were going through, if they were going through any pain. That shouldn't be hidden. I would have loved to understand and empathize and try to try to see their point of view from things, instead of just seeing their depression, their anger, their disappointment. Like, they weren't open and honest with why those came up and how they're dealing with it. I don't know. I didn't know. I still don't know. They're still not very open to talk about that stuff, but whatever. So my main point, again, I'm gonna close this out here, is try and spend as much time as you can with you. Have some alone time, but as much time as you can with your family, kids, extended family, because in the end, that's really sometimes all we have is our family. And just being there, just having that closeness, just listening to them talk, and laughing, crying, even yelling. Some families like to do that. Is crucial, I think, to having a strong upbringing and a strong sense of belonging, even if you feel like a black sheep in your family, such as myself. But it's still good to know that they're there and they share your DNA and your genes and all that stuff. And especially your kids. I hope you were able to spend 4th of July with your kids and do something crazy. Don't blow off your fingers, but do something kind of out there. Make some wacky s'more concoction. Have a big bonfire, or, go for a walk to the fireworks and point out little things along the way, and just explore with your kids. Have fun. And again, if you're not able to, just make sure you find time that either you or your partner can have some good quality time with them, and make sure it means something. Don't just, I'm a hypocrite for saying this, but don't just sit in front of the TV and have TV time. Explore with them, talk with them, read books with them, play board games. I know it's kind of went the way of the dinosaur, but just do something interactive with them, so you build that connection and you're more comfortable talking with them about your life. Don't be too wrapped up in what went on at work this morning, or what you have to do later in the week as far as errands or work. Be in the moment with your kids. They're growing up. You are still growing up. You're going to grow up until the day you croak, because you're always going to be learning. You always should be learning. You always should be asking questions, and you should always be looking for something new to learn and understand. So with that being said, folks, Leashed Dads here, solo project of Mr. Jared. Check me out on Unlocking Jarred Potential. I have I have almost 75 shorts now, building positivity and trying to get a grip on mental health. And I really hope you guys check it out. Like, subscribe to Leash Dads. There's a ton of episodes to go back and look upon. Reach out to us via email, leashdads14@gmail.com. And give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys. Let us know how we're doing, and if this is your first episode, take a look at the backlog. There's some good shit in there, I'm telling you. And if it's not good in your opinion, let us know why. We'd like to improve for sure. We'd love to build this audience a little bit more. But yeah, see you guys next week. Hopefully JJ is able to come. I actually might not be here next week. I might have to be elsewhere for work. But of course, I will be with my family. I'm glad I have the opportunity to take them with me on my work trip again. So hopefully that works out with my wife and my family, that we can have that time. They can do something while I'm at the office, and then spend the mornings and evenings together. So from me at Leash Dads, have a wonderful rest of your week. You got this. Stay positive, guys. Love you. See ya.